I've been talking all night, so let's give Brian another
Well, Mayor, we were taught that the incumbent always has an opportunity to speak last, so we're going to keep with that, and we're going to start here with Mr. Francis Smith, 2 minutes for closing statements. Thank you, Mayor.
On May 7th, we're going to have a choice to vote for one of the 9 candidates that are up here. That's not my race. My race is June 4th. I will not be on the May 7th ballot. But what I want you to understand, whoever comes out of that gate has to come see me. I haven't said everything. I've been very reserved. But I will tell you all this. With some of the conduct that has gone on tonight, that's not what you want in the mayor's seat. We deserve better than that. Throwing stones, the Bible says, he without sin cast the first stone. I don't think we should be beating on the incumbent. I don't think the incumbent should retaliate on the runners. I will say this. I don't care nothing about your degrees. I don't care nothing about your experience. I don't care nothing about your platform. If God is not in it, you're not going to win it.
Good evening again. Once again, I would like to thank the organizers of this forum. This is critically important for the city of Jackson. And I think it's incumbent upon all of us to look at what's been transpired over the number of, not just 4 years, 8 years, 12 years, but 16 years. We don't have one problem within the city of Jackson that we didn't have back in 1997 when the first comprehensive infrastructure plan was done. 1997 hadn't been one since. We had the federal government that had to come in and tell us to take care of the sewer in the city. It is not a good thing that we have to try to create economic development by letting the city infrastructure get to such a decay that we have to have outsiders come in and tell us to handle our own business. And Mayor, I will tell you this. I'm not going to let you shame me into doing what the law allows in filing for bankruptcy. I'm just not going to allow that, because I tell you this, and as a Christian, you ought to know. And this is one thing that I am certainly sure of. We all have fallen down in one aspect or another in our lives. I've turned my economic life around. I've turned it in a new direction. That's exactly what the city of Jackson needs. We got $1 billion infrastructure problem. We got crime out of control. You can play with those numbers all you want. It is what it is. It is what it is. We need to get this city on track. We got to deal with the crime problem in the city. We got to deal with the educational problem. I'm asking you, yes, it is time for a change. And I'm that change agent. I know something about that. I know something about facing tough challenges and moving forward. And it's a lesson for our children. Thank you.
I want to refer people as I do my closing to our internet site, our website, electthemovementmayor.com, and check out the People's Platform. God is in our platform. And it was a platform that was written years ago and one which we've improved since then. I want to point out that being in office for 12 years as a mayor certainly can make you a better politician, but it doesn't necessarily make you a leader, right? It doesn't necessarily make you a better leader. How we got to judge that is what you have laid, what you have accomplished. It is important that we get new leadership at this time because we need a new change. Insanity is the repetition of the same thing at many times and expecting a different result. We cannot get that result. It is time that we move on. Mayor Johnson has had his back at the plate. Time for the next batter up. This is what it is. I'm running as mayor. I want you to elect me mayor because I'm a person who has proven leadership. I have led out of political office and I have led in political office. You know what you get when you get choked with. You know you're going to get seriousness. You know you're going to get commitment. You know you're going to get love for the people. You know you're going to get strength. You know you're going to get courage. You know I will go there. I will build the ship, fight for the ship. And when you look at Lumumba, you look at the people people I've represented, you can see the successes that we have, and you are looking at the next successful mayor and the next successful city. We're going to move Mississippi right here from Jackson, from worst to first. That's what we're going to do.
I want to thank everybody for the opportunity to come and share just a little bit about our vision and our ideas for the city of Jackson. Again, my name is Jonathan Lee, and I am running as a Democrat for mayor. And I want to address that. I am a Democrat, and my voting record does speak for itself. In fact, I do believe I saw the mayor at the last Hinds County Democratic Caucus meeting where I represented on the precinct. But you know what? That's not so much really the issue, is it? The issue, again, is what I said earlier. This is about what hasn't been done. And quite frankly, there are a whole lot of things that haven't been done. So we're going to focus on what we call those core issues. C-O-R-E. Crime, opportunities for employment, rebuilding the infrastructure, and of course, education. If you're going to take credit, you better be ready to take the heat when things don't work out so well. You know, we talked about our roads budget earlier, and I mentioned the fact that we have a little over $4 million in our roads budget, and I was corrected to say that we have $25 million of money being spent on roads. That may be true. That's because we're mortgaging the house to put in carpet. That is a complete and utter mistake on behalf of this administration. He said so himself. We've got to take notice on how this city is being run. It's time for routine maintenance. It's time for housekeeping. It's time for a cleaning out of the old way, especially when it has proven time and time again to be completely ineffective. So I ask that you go and look at the solutions that we propose for our campaign. JonathanLeeForJackson.com. I pray that you'll judge us on the solutions, not the rhetoric, because we have heard about rhetoric tonight. But I want to make sure you go out and learn for yourself. This is an important business. This is our city, and at the end of the day, these potholes and these flooded streets don't have no party affiliation. Thank you very much.
I am John H. Jones, and I'm a candidate for mayor on May 7th as a Democratic candidate for mayor of the city of Jackson. I'm an educator, I'm a professional administrator, and I'm a technologist. I will use my expertise in technology to move the city to a better place. We need to improve the city. We don't need it to become one of those Rust Belt cities of the Northeast. Jackson has time to be saved. We need leadership for the 21st century. We can't continue with the status quo. We need somebody that knows something other than the colloquial politics of Mississippi. I have worldwide experience. I have worldwide exposure. I've seen some things that will allow me to make a difference in the way the city is run, to make a difference in the way we do things, everything from small business development to tax incentives for people to move into the city of Jackson. Those are the kinds of things that we need to be moving forward with in the city of Jackson. Jackson needs to be moving forward in leaps and bounds and not tied to the status quo of failed policies in the past. Thank you.
Jackson has been through pain. It has been through pleasure. But the most important thing, Jackson has progress. It is time for us to let's take this change and move this change to a wonder. To build and maintain a strong economic foundation for love and unity. To create self-determination, collective work, and just, I get emotional. In other words, it's time for Jackson to change. It's time for us to pull together as one. It's time to see what this cannabis plant does. I have a board right over there. All the things that can be made out of it, from the medicine, from everything, from the fabric, from the plastic for building things.
It's Jonathan. just keep on the closing remarks, not the end comments.
So to sum this up, I submitted with the state Secretary of State to put this cannabis implant on the ballot to help bring a strong economic to this city, to help bring industry, thousands of jobs. So on your internet, don't take my word for it. Look it up for yourself. The United States of America are buying these products from China, and then it's illegal here in some states. But we need to come together and build a strong economic cooperative and stand on a strong foundation, or unless we're going to be going in circles and we're going to deteriorate. So May 7th, my name is the longest name on the list. That's because I'm family. And I would like you to vote me as your next mayor for the city of Jackson. I thank you.
Well, I'm William Wright, and I'm going to tell y'all, I resigned my position as a police sergeant just to run for the city of Jackson, because in the over 13 years that I worked as a police officer, all the people that got to know me, they were telling me to run. Plus, I know what the city's hurting for, and I know what I'm available for you to do. I'm not running for me. I'm running this campaign for all of y'all. I want to do the greater good for the most people. And I just knew, along with my wife who's here tonight, she's always told me that there was so much more that I could do for this city. I believe that we have a whole lot of good people sitting up here. And like I said in the other forum, if we could take something from each person sitting up here tonight, there's your mayor right there. You know, we don't have to be enemies while we're running for this position. This is something that we have to do together. So I actually gave up my position just to run for this position because I cared enough and saw enough wrong that it needs to happen that way. And on May 7th, if you feel like that I'm the one that you really want, and I can be and will be, then I expect to get your vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I want to thank the Women for Progress, the two sororities, and all that made this possible for tonight. I've heard a lot of talk about change, but I haven't heard any solutions. My change would be this: the power lies in the office of the mayor of the city of Jackson. I've been on the city council for 8 years. Council get out here and campaign, talking about what all they can do and all that. That's a bunch of, you can't do anything unless you get the mayor to do it. That's why I propose making the president of the city council under my administration being the mayor pro tem. Also, let all city council people have access to each department head so they can get things done in that ward. That's common sense. The more the council can wake up and clean up their wards and burn structures and all that, the better the whole city gonna look. And who's gonna get the credit when the whole city looks good? The mayor. So why should I sit on and hold it to myself and don't let the city council work? I can assure you, you won't have to call 311 in my administration, because the city council person will be right there to answer and to do the things that you need to have done in your ward. Thank you very much.
I am Robert Ames, candidate for mayor. One thing I want to say is I truly understand politics, and I didn't come here tonight for rhetoric. I didn't come here for sound bites. I didn't come here for sensationalism, as they say. I came here to mark Robert Ames. I've been involved in education, finances, and also small business owners. That's what I'm involved in. I understand you guys are a great group of educated folk, and you can understand the difference of rhetoric, and you can understand the difference of sound bites. I talked to dozens of folk each and every week, and I say, how are you valued as an individual? How are you valued? You're valued on your ability to solve problems. As I go to each one of these debates, I don't have a script. I'm not reading off anything. I want you to judge me on my ability to solve problems. You take theory and experience and put them together. When I answer the question, I say, this is what we're going to do. Now, we're not talking about theories. This is what we're going to do. My ability to solve problems. When a candidate is asked a question, think about, are there any specifics? This is how we're going to move this city forward. Are there any specifics? This is how we're going to move this city forward. So again, on May 7th, Robert Amos, I want you to judge me on my ability tonight and answering questions and my ability to solve problems. Thank you.
I too would like to thank the elders and AKAs and Women for Progress for putting this on. Thank all of you for staying here tonight and enduring this forum. You are really interested in what's going on, and I appreciate that. You know, there's been a lot of talk about what has been done by the incumbent and going back 12 years, 16 years, or what have you. And I really want my record to speak for itself. If you look at any major development in this city over the last 20 years, I either started it or I completed it. You think about it. Don't listen to all the rhetoric and all that. You think about how far this city has moved since 1997. When I was elected as the first African-American mayor. When Mayor Jackson told me there's going to be high anxiety in the white community and high expectations in the black community. And I've traveled that road. And we've made progress here in the city of Jackson. We have fixed our infrastructure. We spent over $200 million on fixing infrastructure here in the city of Jackson. I'm ready to lead in 2013 as I was ready to lead in 1997 and in 2009. You have to be ready for this office. You're not ready for this office if you're a Democrat one day and a Republican the next. You're not ready for this office if you're not a good money manager. You're not ready for this office for the only reason you're running because you're ticked off at somebody. That's not ready. Being ready is making sure that you have the interests of the people at heart and you prepare yourself to run for this office. Not to get up here and talk and not to rebut. And as Mr. Amos said, sound bites and all of that. You have to be prepared. So look at those candidates, all of us. And I guarantee you, you're going to select Harvey Johnson as the best prepared candidate. And I'm asking for your vote again for the 4th time on May 7th in the Democratic primary. God bless you.
Thank you, candidates, for your closing statements. And we are going to end in prayer. We have Reverend Shirley Harrington Watson. She is a political trailblazer herself as the first Black